I think Buddy's having problems. Hold on, Mark. Let me call him.
Yep.
Hey, is it not connecting?
I guess it says, like I'm on and it's saying Richie Byrne and Buddy, but whenever I say join meeting, the circle just goes around and around and around. I'm not sure what's happening.
There's Buddy.
Oh. Thanks for joining us, fucker. He can't hear. Buddy, you were really... I wouldn't mind, but this is my guest. I mean, he's my guest, and he's embarrassing me so much here today. Everybody
and
else
I'm on Valeria's. I'm on Valeria's. I can't get on my new computer.
Everybody else, no problem. Hey, I'll be there on time, but not my buddy, not my pal. No.
How come I... Shut up. I'll talk to friends who hosted, who did shows, and I'll go, "Hey, who was on the show with you?" Bradley Heffenpfeffer, Bentley Cahuga, Juan Acarez. I don't know anybody's name anymore.
I don't know anybody.
Shoot out these names. Ibadiah Papapa. Every name sounds like they made it up.
Well,
every name.
This is kind of depressing.
Who's booking him?
Why is Izakaya Papaya getting?
What's amazing about Ibadiah is he's so good. He only needs one name. Cher, Ibadiah.
That's another thing. I love one named artists. Buddy just doesn't. Buddy.
No,
doesn't cut it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling. I'm your host, Mark Riccadonna, and with me, as always,
Richie Byrne. What's up, brother?
Hey, we got a good one there.
Yeah, we do. One of my dearest friends in the world. People don't know that. People get weird when I say that.
Why?
I don't know. They just don't think of you and me together. By the way, it's Buddy Fitzpatrick. Yay. Hi, buddy.
In this business, though, they're friendships, but they're not the normal getting together and hanging because everyone's running around and being busy and so forth. But you cannot see or talk to somebody for so long. But if you're really good friends, you just pick it up
like we did a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we did. You actually came into, well, I did. I was in Long Island.
You were in Long Island, and you were staying in a hotel, and I came, and we had coffee.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, if you were a real comedy friend, we would have been drunk at 2:30, but...
Yeah, but you had a service to go to.
I did. What'd I have to do?
Staten Island. You had to go to somebody's funeral.
Oh, right. Lorraine, right. Wow.
Richie, oh yeah.
Wow, good memory, buddy.
So to your point, if you really were truly Irish, you would have shown up drunk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I was saying earlier, I woke up today and got on the scale, and I am officially the heaviest I've ever been. So I quit drinking.
Oh, I thought that's what you were going for.
No, no, that was my goal. And the funny thing is for the last 2 years, I have not bought clothes because I wanted to lose weight, and I refused to buy any clothes. And now the poor clothes are just like, help.
And drinking was the main.
The problem with the drinking, buddy, is that I'll drink and then I go home and I'll eat, and it's 2 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
And I just need a break.
Ambitions down, so you just don't care.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm just gonna eat.
I don't give a rat's ass.
But you know what? If our weight was at batting averages, you and I would probably be playing pro ball.
You want to hear a funny story? I know it's Buddy's the guest and we should be talking about him, but let's talk about me.
When did that ever stop you before, Richie? We did 200 shows over the pandemic, and I've been clipping them. They're all stories you're telling.
That's great.
You have, Mark. Can we just say how I do want to commend Mark for that? You have worked very hard on that. Every time I look on Facebook, there's another post, and people will call me and go, "Hey, man, that was a great story you told." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And it turns out Mark posted it, and I didn't even know.
Dude, revisiting all these stories and revisiting all the guests, I really got into it, and it was like I forgot how fun some of these interviews were during a time that was awful. It was like during the pandemic. It was like, we were stuck at home. Nobody knew what was going on. Now it's in hindsight. We look back and it was like so innocent and fun.
It was
us on this podcast.
Yeah, those were great. I really did have fun those days. And you know what was great about it too? That was the only thing you had to worry about all day was doing the podcast. There was no other responsibility because there was nowhere to go. It was kind of a cool time. Like now I'm like, oh, I got to get out of here. I got to come in early. I'm doing Tony's show. Then after Tony's show, I got to do this. Then I'm going to go to the gym. Then I got this meeting. Like back then you were like, all right, podcast is over. I'm going to go drink some whiskey and look at my fish.
And they were podcasts back then were unlimited. So, hey, buddy, can you sign on at 1? Yeah, sure. How long is it? Until we end it.
Yeah.
We're just going to go.
Yeah.
I remember podcasts where people would go, look, I got to run, but somebody else would come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did the marathon, Mark and I, with the 4-day marathon, and you came on. Right. We gave you your own slot, and you walked on and did this improv with a bunch of comics, and I called you and said, that's a game show, dude. And that's how we started doing And the Word Is, and which was just so much fun, and we're bringing it back. That's why we have you on. We're going to bring back And the Word Is, so people, please, who are watching, look for it. We're going to be starting it up soon. We're recording a few tomorrow, and Mark's going to be on. And I'm really excited about it. Really excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of
fun. Such a fun
fun
show. And Tony Walker is here, Putty. I don't know if you can see
Hi,
him.
Tony.
Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. How are you?
Hi. I don't know if we ever met, but
we have not.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
You know what's funny about Tony, buddy, is I don't know if you remember, but in our other formations of this show, we always had a producer who felt the need to become the third person on the show.
Sure.
And it never failed, no matter who it was. They decided they were going to be on every show. And Tony actually is a performer, and he has not tried to do that once, which is why we love him.
He's a good producer then.
And the Word is such a great idea. And you basically, it was just stuff you did with your friends, right? Like it was just like a writing exercise.
So yeah, I'm in a writing group, and when I can make it, we always started literally just to warm up. Somebody would throw out a word, and they'd get somebody would have 90 seconds to riff on the word, and then they throw out a word in the next comic. And not only would it loosen us up writing muscle wise, it could actually introduce jokes. It could actually, this came out of it eventually, not all the time, but sometimes. And when I teach comedy, I start off with it all the time. It's just, and I love when they get really nervous. They're like, nah, but then it ends up being a lot of fun.
Right.
Yeah.
I did it on your marathon. Richie called and said, you want to do a game show? And again, because of quarantine, what are you going to say? No, I'm busy.
Yeah.
Earl.
Yeah.
I got excited because when we would do it, I would come on and it would be somebody like Bartlett who lives to improvise. Like that's, it's like when Bartlett does his stand-up, it's almost like the act gets in the way of him having fun.
Yeah.
Like, shit, I got to do a bit now. But like where Richie's goes by the script when he's doing stand-up. When you do warm-up, you're not like that, though. When you do warm-up, you're kind of all over and having fun. So it was fun to watch Richie get out of his comfort zone of his act and just riff, and you realize like just how funny and quick people are. You know what I mean? Like you can really see people shine.
Well, we also, Buddy and I have talked about the fact that, and I'm not going to name names, but we'll have people on who we don't think are particularly great comedians who are phenomenal at the game. And then we'll have other people on who are great comedians and they're not really that good at the game. And then once in a while we have a really bad comedian who's not good at the game, and that's you, Mark.
Well, you guys had to book me. It was it just would have been weird if you did.
Well, it's such a nuanced because there's different rules, right? So we go into different variations of it. One of my favorites was, I read lyrics of songs and then stop and go, what is the word? And people think they know lyrics, but you get to the word. And that's what's fun about it. And by the end, even if it's their first time, by the end, they got it. They have fun or they don't, but it's such there's almost no wrong way to do it, but some people figure that out. Some people actually figure out a wrong way to do it. And my favorite thing is when they give their answer and it's 3 words. That to me makes me laugh.
Yeah, that does.
Right?
Yeah.
The name of the game is and the
word is.
But I don't have a great vocabulary, so I needed to put an adjective in there, buddy.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm amazed at how great Buddy is at rounding everybody up, because I mean you get a bunch of
hosting work too.
Yeah, you get a bunch of hammy comics together and we're all jumping on each other, and Buddy just finds a way to, whoever, like, he knows this person's ready, I'm gonna pull them in now, I'm gonna push this one back, and it's like watching a lion tamer or something, Buddy, like the way you do it.
Well, don't compliment me too much, because I don't think about it. You know what I mean? I just do it. It's like when we all get on stage, the first 30 seconds we're sort of getting that first serve in, but after a while we're moving and on it. So I don't. Well, thank you for saying that, but I don't really think about it.
I love when I'm sitting there going, Buddy, Buddy. And eventually he goes, yes, Richie. And I wait for him to say yes. I'll just keep saying Buddy. But
all I know is when this show becomes a show on television, you guys have to make sure that the set is like something from the mid 70s.
Yeah,
with like the powder blue background.
That's hilarious. That's so
Buddy wearing like a red tuxedo with the long, skinny Phil Collins microphone. That you hold with your pinky out while you do it. I can see it. I can totally see it. No frills, no anything. The really 70s graphics, the 70s fonts, and it just, but then it's all modern people. Like it was like a time warp. I think that's the show.
That's hilarious. That's very funny. We could even have old commercials.
I can't believe I ate the whole thing. So how have you been since quarantine is pretty much lifted? How's business?
Yeah, so okay, I don't think clubs. I don't think the comedy scene is back the way it used to be. I think if you have if you got the balls, you got to get now it's us getting more of the work than waiting for the work to come in. I actually am doing a lot of ships, cruise lines.
Yeah.
Because they're up and running and they pay very well. The travel can be hell sometimes, but it is what it is, and I see a little bit of the world.
Yeah, I couldn't.
So, yeah, business is good.
The travel really got to me with the cruises back in the day. It was just.
That's what you're getting paid for. You're doing the shows for free, basically.
Yeah.
But you're paying you for all the nuisance.
How have the ships been busy? Are people going back out?
Yeah, they're back to full capacity.
They are? Okay, good.
Yes, they are. But no more proving anything, no more mask wearing. You can if you want. There's still people who wear the mask.
Mm-hmm.
But it used to be you had to get tested, bring your negative test, bring all of your information about vaccines and so forth. They literally say to you now, are you vaccinated? Yes. Do you feel sick? No. All right, welcome aboard.
Well, it was May 12th. They even lifted that.
What do you mean, May 12th?
I think it was May 12th or May 13th. They lifted the whole thing on theaters. Like you don't need to show any proof of
Yeah, it's
vaccination
done.
or anything. It's over.
What is that?
What was that?
I guess that's Alexa letting us in on what's going on in theater.
Is that yours, Mark?
Yeah, but it's in the other room. No, please don't.
We'll edit that out in post.
When I come home, the only reason I like her, Alexa, because when I come home and I'm in a really bad mood, I do not want to take it out on Valeria, or if my kids are here, I don't want to take it out on them. So, but I need to let it go. I need to take it out on somebody. So I'll ask her a question, any question, and in the middle of her answering it, I scream really loud, "Alexa, shut the fuck up!" And it's so good.
This wow.
Yeah. Does she just take it, or does she?
She takes it, Mark. She takes it. She's the perfect woman.
Now, I'll tell you a story. My mom has this passive aggressive thing that she does that when to let
An
you know.
Irish mother that's passive aggressive.
She says,
Tell me there's guilt involved too.
Yeah. Well, you call her and you're like, "Hey, Ma, how's it going?" "Oh, good. I haven't really heard from anybody. It's good I have Alexa here because, it's another voice. I'm like, really? So what are you kidding me? Someone to talk to. Okay. All right.
Richie, go visit your mom.
And then you call my mother's Alexa, and she's like, "Get me the fuck out of here. This woman's crazy."
No, Alexa actually says that. Oh, it's so good to have someone else to talk to instead of that one.
Well, when I first got it, I was saying Alexa, and it would light up, but then it would stop when I asked it the question. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with this? So I would say Alexa, and it would light up, and it would stop. Like, what is wrong with? And it turned out I was saying Alexis. So it would hear Alex, and then when you didn't say it would just stop. So
stop. Well, that's not her name, I guess.
I had to take it back. I'm like, I'm going, look, Alexis. They're like, the name's Alexa. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess this modern technology is too much for me.
Did you see that Saturday Night Live about Alexa for old people?
No.
Oh, I think I have.
No,
I think I have.
Watch it. It's Richie.
That's so funny.
Keaton Thomas is Richie.
I do. Look, I had to get. First of all, I broke my computer in a stupid way.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, I have a notebook. I still make notes, on paper.
Yeah,
like we used to, and it's a spiral. And I put the book, my notebook, on the keyboard and shut the lid for like a second. Thought that's probably dangerous, but it was enough for me to crack it from the spiral rings. Yeah, and the computer, the cursor was going all over. I couldn't control the cursor, so
wow.
I took it. Yeah, I took it to Best Buy, and I couldn't. It would be like going to NASA and saying, "Hey, I want to buy a rocket. Can you explain what the best rocket is?" And and you don't know what the hell they're talking about. But all you know is, no matter what they say, I have to leave with a rocket.
I can't live without the rocket.
I live without the rocket. But you try to get them to be like, "Yeah, I don't need all of that. All of it doesn't matter. You're walking out Much, $1,000 later, you're going to walk out spending. But I would, and I would go, and my girlfriend came with me. I said, Valeria came with me. I said, you be the bad cop, like keep quiet for a while. And then like we're buying a car, and then you come in. And she did. She was like, well, what's the memory on this? And I didn't even understand what he was saying. Well, the memory bite is compared to like the tablet. If you wanted to be a tablet through the woods to your grandmother's house would go. Okay. Why do I need it to be a tablet? Well, you don't need it to be a tablet, but it can become a tablet. Well, why would I want it to become a tablet? It doesn't have to become a tablet. But if I want it to become a tablet, 100%, it can become a tablet.
You needed to swallow a tablet after this conversation.
I needed a drink. And in the end, there I am swiping my card in, and, it's ridiculous.
And then somebody just said this to me because they were talking about warranties, and they go, do you want to get the warranty? And it's, why? Is this a piece of shit? Why do I need a warranty? You just sold me this, right? It's good? Or is it a piece of shit? It's going to break?
I do that with cars. When you buy a car, the last thing they do is now you got to go into a room with a guy who's going to try to sell you extra tire insurance, extra this, roadside assistance and all that. And my daughter just bought a car for the first time. And I said, look, they're going to bring you into a room, which immediately made her nervous. She's like, what? What are they bringing me into a room for? I go, because they're going to try to sell you extra warrant. And all you have to do is, and they're good at it. They're going to push it. All you have to calmly do is say, no, thank you. But at a point when you feel like you're being pressured, literally say to him, are you selling me a lemon? Why do I need all this stuff if you're selling me a brand new car that's supposed to last for a while?
Right.
Is this a bad car? Is this a piece of shit? Don't be afraid to say that to him. And she called me afterwards and she said, Dad, they were pressuring me like, and I even
how
said
they
to
make
her,
money.
I even said to her, tell them I'm not allowed to. My mommy and daddy said not to. Just keep saying that over and over again. She's 23 years old. She's 23 years old. My mommy and daddy won't let me. But it's the same thing. It's just, they sell you this computer that's the best. All they tell you is this is the best. And when you say you'll buy it, they're like, well, now you need 5 years of extra warranty. What? Yeah. You just told me it's the best computer.
No, buddy, this is the best one. I don't want that one. Okay, this is really the best one.
This is over here. Yeah. And this new thing with this generation, 100%. That's all they say, 100%. Do you understand I don't need all that? 100%. But you're selling it to me anyway, 100%. Yeah.
Buddy, when we were doing And the Word Is a lot, and you were on our podcast a lot during the pandemic, and I forgot how much I love that acid trip that's behind your head every time we.
Good painting.
Purple haze all through my brain.
That is definitely.
None of this don't seem the same. That's funny.
See, Richie? What do you see in that painting? Mangled hooker with bananas?
I see my hopes and dreams dashed.
I forget to look at it. I have another one. I have its sister over on the wall.
It looks like Walt Disney threw up. So because we're doing the show differently now, we never have a drink anymore. That was always the big thing. Drinks, jokes, and storytelling. You had to have a drink. But are you?
Yeah, but I don't think we have to literally always have a drink.
Well, what do you got there, buddy? You drinking coffee today?
Coffee.
And what about you, Mark? You both were making coffee, and that's why you were late for the show, right?
I made a cappuccino.
Look at you. So Italian. So Italian.
It was a decaf?
Oh, no.
Hey.
It's like decaf coffee to me is like alcohol-free tequila. Why?
I can't do a lot of caffeine anymore, so I do half and half. I do half caffeine.
I can see half and half. Weak coffee.
No,
yeah.
It's so old. The day I can't do caffeine anymore, I'm done.
You check out after that, Richie?
I remember like when my parents started drinking decaf, and I was like, when I hit this age, I just don't want to live anymore. Yeah,
My parents are at the
Diet
age
Coke.
where they treat their coffee like it's liquor. Like, I have 3 fingers of coffee.
That's
You know,
funny.
just
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
little. They won't drink a full cup.
With a shot of something in it.
No, I've never seen my parents drunk.
Really?
Yeah,
That's sad. That's really sad.
And you've never seen me sober.
I know. That's why.
I used to
I
tell
do-
my mom when my mom would have like I'll have a little champagne. I'll have a little. She was great. She was so much fun. I'd say, Mom, you need to do this a little bit more.
Mhm.
My mother was always worried. Always. That's how I remember my mother. Always worried. Constantly. And it got to the point where I would lie to her. So we'd be talking and she'd go, "No, are you working this weekend?" "Yes." "Where?" "Albany." "Oh, God. Well, how are you getting there?" "Well, I'm driving." "Oh, God." "Well, watch those people on the road. They can be, Then she'd get like indignant with me. They're crazy people on the road. Almost Kevin Meaney-esque.
Right.
Like but my mother was really like that. So it got to the point she would call me up and say, "Oh, God, I'm afraid to ask, are you working this weekend?" "Mom, I have to. I'm working this weekend." "Where?" "Up the street." "What do you mean up the street?"
I'm
My
walking.
neighbor opened a comedy club, and I'm walking a block to the gig. Oh, stop it. And I just stopped telling her where I was going because she would just get nervous all the time. All the time.
So you mean to tell me if they had made the Buddy Fitzpatrick sitcom, Kevin Meaney would have been your mom and Kevin and Greg would have played your mom?
Or we would have been brothers maybe, or I don't know, right? With the same mother, something like that. Different people. What's that saying? Brothers of a different mother. It would be not
from
brothers
another
of the
mother.
same, but it would be not brothers from the same mother, something like that.
Buddy, speaking of which, I worked that theater about a month ago.
Smithtown.
Yeah, when Kevin
Kevin was adamant about going and getting a 24 case
beer.
of beer.
Beer. It was St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, it was. But the crazy thing is,
He was so I'm going and I'm climbing that fence. Remember, you had to climb
actually climbed a fence to get it, and then with the 24 bottle case, he climbed
the
back
fence.
over the fence and made it to the club. Do you know the Smithtown Theater, Mark?
No, but please tell me this is when Kevin was heavy.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't that. I mean, it wasn't. He
It wasn't
skinny,
at his
but he
right.
wasn't
right.
at his heaviest.
This is about 7 years ago, 8 years
And
ago.
when you get to the theater in the back, you can't get behind the stage without going through the audience. So there is a door. It's like a truck loading ramp.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty high. You have to be careful. You got to jump down and run and climb a fence. Get to what was it? Walgreens or something?
Yeah, it was like a Walgreens. I'm still not sure why he had to climb a fence because
I don't know, but he climbed it, and then he climbs a fence back. Then he climbs back up onto the truck drop-off point. I mean, it's like a war zone. But then when you walk into the back of the theater, there are long, thin steps leading down into the green room. And he literally said, we hear a knock on the door, open the door. There he is, like this with the case. And he goes, "I made it." And he took one step onto the step to go down.
And
that's all she wrote.
all you heard was boom, boom, pa, 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 fuck, pa, pa, son of a bitch, pa, 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 boom.
There's six comics, and we're all like, ah.
He gets sprayed with beer.
I think 4 survived. Miraculously, 4 survived. 4 bottles. And then we all swept it up for him. Remember, we were all
he
sweeping
was
it.
so mad. He was so mad.
Oh, man. He made it all that way, and it's a shame, It's yeah.
That was the night. He said, "Oh, you do the warm-up for Dr. Oz." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "My mother loves him. My mother loves him." I said, "Oh, you want to bring her?" And he's like, "Are you kidding?" I go, "No. Call me. I'll get you in this. Bring your mom. I'll introduce her." Oh, Richie, that would be the greatest thing. He never calls me. So like year and a half goes by, and I work with him somewhere. I go, hey, man, what happened with your mother? And he said, she didn't want to go. She goes, what would I wear? And Kevin goes, what? She goes, well, what would I wear? And he goes, well, you're not going to date him, Ma. You're just going to the fucking show. So when I went to his wake and I met his mom,
Aw.
I said that to her. I said, I do the warm-up for Dr. Oz. She goes, oh, he wanted me to go. What would I wear? She said that. It was just like, it made me laugh so hard. She's like, he's telling me, I can't meet Dr. Oz in the clothes that I have. She said, it was very funny.
And then they scan the audience, and you look at some of what some of the people wear.
You had to see what I was wearing.
Yeah, there you go.
So, do you like the cruises, or are they just a means to an end?
I like them. Capital L. I like them. And the more I do them, the more I figure it out.
Yeah.
And now they're opening up where we can bring guests. So Valeria came with me on one of them.
Okay, that's cool.
That was awesome. We went through the Panama Canal. We had an amazing time. So I hope to bring her again. Maybe my one, you can only bring one. So I'll bring one daughter one time, another daughter another time. So, but I do like them. I don't like being away, especially for long ones. This next one I'm going to do is about 15 days. But there are guest entertainers who do months on the road.
Yeah, they're amazing.
I know a few that don't have an apartment, and they just stay in the hotel for 2 or 3 days on the layover, and then just get right back on the ship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, when I was doing them, I made some really good friends. I'm still Rick and Josette, Mark, the magician.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them in years, but we still keep in touch,
I have some really good friends that will be friends, absolutely. And then there are those that don't want to have anything to do with you, or you just don't click, whatever.
The real brief time I did ships, I was on Disney, and I became friends with the magician Eric that came on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I constantly hit him up and talk to him and try to stay in touch with him. And he actually lives in Philly, so it's like perfect. But it's like, yeah, you really do bond with people when you realize you're going to spend like a week straight with them.
Sure, you can. And there are times, and I pretty much keep to myself. There are ones that like reach out to the other entertainers. Hey, you want to grab a bite? I don't do that unless they reach out to me. So there have been times where I've been on a ship for like 14 days, and on the 12th day, I'll run into one of them, and they're like, and we get along, and then we're like, but it's over. Why didn't we do this the whole trip? But I'm okay by myself. I have to say I do a lot of writing on the ship, and not just comedy, other areas of writing and so forth. Work on the game show, whatever. So
that's fun. Well, I was going to ask you that because is it? I would think like right now, I did ships 20 years ago and didn't love the idea, like you said, of being away.
Yeah. Didn't
love the travel and all that. But looking at it now, where I am in my life and what I want to be doing, I want to be writing more, and I might probably enjoy it more now because it'd be like the same thing, like I said with the quarantine. You have the whole day to yourself if you're not doing a show. You could probably get a lot done.
Yeah, and the gyms are amazing.
They are.
I go up there more for my head than anything. Some of the ports are amazing, but yeah, if you are disciplined, it's just like being at home. You can either waste the day or you can be very productive. Mm-hmm. Absolutely,
it's really hard because I think that being on a ship would be kind of a relief because I know, like, I'm working on like a couple different projects and I have to like turn my phone off for an hour and a half a day. Because I'll get distracted with text messages or calling or just getting on and surfing Instagram and checking out, videos or whatever. And
porn.
I feel like if you're on the ship, you don't have a choice.
Well, you do have internet on the ship, so you can get just as distracted with your phone. But
Yeah, but I'm cheap.
it's then that's perfect because it's even if you get it, some of the ships give it to you for free, but it's never what we're used to. So it becomes tiresome because you'll get on Facebook, but you can't watch videos. Or you know what I mean? You want to go to the gym and listen to some music and it won't download. So you're like at 20% capacity. I just let it go. I don't check Facebook. I don't check Instagram. I don't do any of it. I get emails and I can do WhatsApp and text and talk to some people that I really want to talk to. But other than that, yeah, it's like you're like living in the 90s again without that constant, oh, I'm bored, let me pick up my phone. That totally is not what I do on the ship. I bring books. I actually read a book on the ship. I rarely do that here. Rarely.
Yeah.
I got back into reading after the pandemic. I've been plowing through like 2 books a week.
Is it fiction or?
I do biographies. I'm in the middle of Bono's now.
That's funny, Mark.
Dolly Parton.
I only like to read biographies.
It's the same, man. I don't want to. Why read make believe when there's the real world's so interesting?
Here's 2 good. I thought were better, but I did read Phil Collins. Did you read that? I'm Not Dead Yet.
Ooh, no, I'll have to read that one.
It was good. It was good. But the best ones I read were Bruce Springsteen's. His is amazing.
I just did that one.
Did you? Did you like it?
Yeah, I didn't know about his California days when he was like living in the woods and shit.
Very well written, though. He wrote that. I thought he wrote it really well, and that's what his one person play was based on. And then it's called The Boys, and it's Ron Howard and Clint Howard talking about how they grew up in Hollywood and how their parents were nonconformists and really helped them, and the reason they're so good and normal. It's basically an ode to how their parents raised.
I did warm up for Drew Barrymore last year, and they were on pushing the book.
Oh,
and it
really?
Was it was very interesting.
Great book. It's easy to read. You're not going to learn deep, dark secrets, but like he talks about how his father prepared him for the Andy Griffith show, and he would like have ladders around the house with broomsticks all over the place, and he's like, that's the cameras and those are the people.
Oh wow.
But when you're sitting on the sofa with Andy, your dad, you have to pretend like all of that's not there. And that's how he would rehearse the scenes with them. He would crowd the rooms with all this shit that's what a set is going to look like. But when you're in your moment, you have to make it believe that you're the only 2 sitting there. I found it really easy to read, but fascinating.
They were saying, Ron was saying that actors and stuff in Hollywood would go to his father and say, you should teach a kid's course. You should teach an acting class for kids. And he was like, why would I do that? And they're like, because you were amazing what you did with Ron and Clint. He goes, but they're my kids. Like he didn't have any interest, and he probably could have made a great living at it. If you think about it.
He does talk about like Leave It to Beaver, Dennis the Menace, and all these other shows. What was that other one? A Western or with Chuck.
Oh, Rifleman.
Rifleman and so forth. They would literally put eye drops in kids' eyes for a crying scene.
Right.
And Rance Howard, their father, was like, I'm gonna teach you how to really cry. So if you look at Leave It to Beaver, even though they were good, they were acting. And then when you look at this little kid, on the Andy Griffith, he was really acting. Mm-hmm. What we come to know about acting.
He was natural.
Yeah. Look, this when I'm bored and I'm driving, I can't listen to podcasts while I'm driving.
Especially this one.
Well, this is my way of setting up. I will never hear this. But in reality, when I'm driving, I pretend I'm being interviewed by like Fresh Air or a podcast about the book I wrote. So
No.
I actually fake. You ever in the car and you hear a song, so you sing it, and you're like in your own little world. You're like in a concert. I do that, but only with like I'm in a podcast right now.
Do you, buddy? When you do that, do you put that painting in the back of the car? Do you?
This painting is attached to my back. There's a loop. You can't see it. So as I walk, yes,
Like,
it's huge.
Mark, you're standing this whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Now, what's gonna
When I
be?
sit, I get tired.
What's
Hey,
gonna
man,
be
you-
behind that green screen?
My fish tank.
Really?
Do you hear it?
No, but I'm asking. Like, you're on you have a green screen behind you.
Yeah.
But is it going to be something different when the show airs, or is it going to be a green screen?
No, it's just green.
All right.
That's so
Look
fun.
at-
It's not a green screen. It's a green screen, but it's the illusion
Actually,
is that it's green. Yeah.
Yeah, it's blue, but I use technology to make it green.
For the Irish.
Look, it's on a thing like the old-fashioned maps that your teachers would pull down, and I pull
Right.
down the green.
You should somehow get this on a back. We'll all have the same background.
Take a picture of that and send
Okay.
it to me, and I'll have it. We can have
Okay.
it for the show tomorrow.
All right, great. I will definitely do that. That's so funny. That's so funny.
I
I'll
mean,
send
Tony
you.
will have
I'll
to do
send
it.
you its sister painting. So I'll have
There
that
you
one,
go.
and you have the other one. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna think I'm cheating. That I'm cheating at the game.
I'm actually. I like coming here. I live 2 miles away from Governor's, so it's really convenient for me. Not
That's
to have
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice. I came all the way from the kitchen. I was on remember doing Zoom show comedies? Did you do them during quarantine?
Not many. Mark ruled them. Mark was. all over.
I did a lot of them too, Mark, but I didn't enjoy them. I think I got better at it for sure.
Yeah.
But my point is, Corey Kahaney and Karen Bergreen and somebody else had one. Forget what it was called. And they said, "Can you do it? We only have $70." And I was like, you know what? I want to get on stage. I need to do it. Yes, I'll do it. Well, they're interviewing. What's her name? Come on! Oh my God! I have to talk to my doctor about Prevagen. Susie Essman. Susie Essman. Okay, they have Susie Essman on. She's not doing stand-up, but they're interviewing her right before I'm supposed to go on. And Corey says, "Hey, Susie, I remember back in the day when we were both doing comedy together. You told me never leave New York for under $1,000." And Susie said, "Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember that." And Corey said, "Sadly, those days are gone. We have to leave New York for under $1,000." Well, when they finally got to my segment and introduced me, I came on and my opening line was, "I don't leave my kitchen for under $70."
I did a lot of the Zoom shows, but they turned into hosting for corporate stuff, and I would like interview
Wow, good for you.
musicians or whatever, and
Wow.
it became where it was more organic, because then I could slip in material because I was talking to somebody, but it was they were pretty brutal. I tried to treat it like a desk segment, like I was doing like a desk segment on a talk show or whatever.
I turned it around into I'm talking to my therapist. That's how I did it. That was in my mind, like, what would I be telling my therapist? And I would make her laugh once in a while, that kind of thing. Because if what I learned is you can't go into it thinking 25 people are watching you or 100 people are watching you. They're all on mute. You're not going to hear anything. If you think of it as it really is, it's not good. But if you have a visual of, hey, I'm in therapy and I'm going to talk about my issues, that's how I actually approached it eventually.
Yeah.
I do remember though the few that I did. I did about 7 or 8 total. And I remember the audiences were very forgiving. They were there for you, which I thought was a cool thing.
I think those that showed up really appreciated it.
Yeah. Yeah. So one I did, a guy was building a dollhouse for his daughter, and he kept forgetting to put mute on. So you try to do your act, and he's like, bang, bang, bang. And people going, what is that noise? What am I hearing?
That happened a lot. I remember a dog pissed right in front of me.
That was in your house.
It was in somebody's house, and then the guy jumped up, ran over, hit the, like pushed the, hey, come on! And we had to deal with this dog, peeing on the guy's carpet. Yeah. I did it. I did an outdoor show. I wish I had the picture on me. Maybe I do. I did an outdoor show in somebody's backyard, and there was like maybe 15 people. It was for a party, and they hired me for the private party. And right in the middle of my set, these 2 dogs come right up in front of me, between me and the audience, and start humping. And I had to deal with these 2 freaking dogs. And I'm in the middle of a bit, and everyone's, of course, looking at the 2 dogs. And I took out my phone and I took a picture of it. You guys talk. Let me see if I can find it.
I was going to say, are you looking for the picture?
I am going to look.
We're going to do doggy porn for the first time ever on Drake's Jokes of Storytelling.
It's just a picture. It's just a picture.
There were so many moments of complete lunacy during.
Oh my God.
Because
and some of them were fun.
Trying to pretend that things were normal, and it just wasn't.
All right, let's see if I can show this.
Oh boy! Oh, there they go.
All right, I'm gonna need
for the rest of the show. Can I just hold? Maybe I'll make this the background. Mark, make that your background.
Buddy, do you have a joke for us?
Oh, that's right. It's jokes.
Yeah.
So,
well, most shows it is, not this one.
So Sky walks into a bar, walks up to the. Are you leaving? You don't want to hear the joke? The bartender. Bartender walks.
Tough crowd. Tough crowd.
Guy walks into a bar and says to the bartender, "Hey, you want to hear a blonde joke?" And the bartender says, "Look, see the bouncer by the door who can hear every word you're saying? You can see that he's blonde. He's blonde, right? He's blonde hair. He's going to hear the joke. And the owner of this bar is sitting 2 stools down at the bar, and she obviously has blonde hair, and she can hear you. And if you haven't noticed, I have blonde hair. You still want to tell the joke?" And the guy said, No, you're right. I don't want to have to explain it 3 times.
Folks, that's Drake's Jokes of Storytelling.
I'm exhausted. I forgot how exhausting talking all day can be.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know,